Well, hello, everybody. I'm Amethyst. You either don't know me and you just found my free info group on Facebook, or you know me because I've been your coach for years or some other reason. But I'm Amethyst. I was a body partner coach for 8.5 years when they decided to close the business part of Body, but I'm still an affiliate with Body, and I still very much love the Body workout. So I'm still helping people get connected to fitness and the nutrition plans that I still very much believe in. I have moved over to Shackley as my new job since Body closed the business opportunity back almost a year ago in September. And so I'm able to offer support in many different ways. I also work at a functional doctor's office here in town, and so have lots of experience. I'm super passionate about helping fight for freedom in all areas of life for women. I'm 50 years old. I'm in the throes of perimenopause. I started my journey with looking for a functional doctor, a naturopath, and then I read the new menopause and I went and found a menopause specialist. So I've tried lots of different things and I have experienced many of the struggles that many people experience during this phase. And so I'm super passionate about helping women to feel better. So I wanted to talk about Belle Vitale because many of you have heard the news that you either invested in Belle Vitale last December or January, you did the program, you got great results, and maybe you want to do it again because, I lost 9 pounds in the first month. So I was like, okay, this works. The nutrition plan is just very much like Portion Fix, but it's kind of like Time Nutrition if you did 80-day obsession, but a little bit different, still using the containers, doing some intermittent fasting. And then the Belle Vitale workouts are all Pilates based with some cardio. And it was really, really fun. And so a couple things, you can get the equipment and attach it to your wall, or you can attach it to a door. And it was really empowering. It was really fun. And every time we did one, I was like, this was so fun. And so she recreates the Cadillac and the Reformer and all of these Pilates equipment that you would go use in a Pilates studio, but it would be so expensive. And so that's really fun. So there's a few things happening right now why we're doing this when this launched, in December, January. And so I want to share about some news. So I know those of you who made the purchase in December, January are annoyed because Body and Autumn said this would never drop into the member library, and it just did. And so you feel betrayed and you feel like, I don't think I can support Body anymore. And I totally get that. I have been through all of the hard feelings toward Body. Trust me, I lost my full-time income when they made that decision, but I still love the workouts, and the nutrition plan really makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I'm still here with a positive mindset. So you're welcome to be here if you want to have one too. And then maybe you didn't order Belle Vitale initially because you felt like it was too expensive, or you just didn't want to spend the money on it. And so now it has dropped into the Body member library. So either you canceled your membership, you don't have it anymore. So if we get you a new membership, we can get you an annual membership for $119 with my affiliate link, and it's normally $179, and that will include free access to Belle Vitale, including the new track Pilates workouts that are coming out tomorrow. And also Lava, if you're familiar with Lava and Elise, she just came out with 5 new workouts too, and that's really awesome. And Joel came out with a new program called Speed Train, 25-minute Speed Train, and that's available to you as well. So great deal. And then if you work with me, I can give you my 15% off discount off all the supplements. If you did order Belle Vitale back in the winter, you should have gotten an email. And if you didn't, you can reach out to me and I'll give you my link and promo code where you can get a free supply of the supplements as a condolence for them not keeping their word. And then if you do get a new subscription, or we cancel your current subscription, get you a new subscription for $119, which is a $60 savings, you can get free equipment and get Belle Vitale for free. So it's pretty incredible. So those are some of the deals right now. Okay. I also wanted to share that since I work with Shackley now, Shaklee's been around for almost 70 years. They created the very first multivitamin and the very first vegan protein shake. They have longevity, they have integrity, and it's a business model that you can invest in and feel really good about. They have an unlimited money back guarantee. Body has a 30-day money back guarantee. Shaklee has an unlimited, so there's no risk. And with my code, you can get a 15% off discount for life. I will waive the one-time $19.95 fee. And you can, like with Body, if you were used to getting a discount, you had to pay $15.95 a month to get that. You don't have to pay it all for the discount with Shaklee. So it's less expensive for their shakes, less expensive for their hormone helpers that are comparable to what Autumn created for Belle Vitale. But Shaklee is the most clinically tested, scientifically proven company out there. So I can offer you supplements on either end, 15% off either way. Okay. As well as 0 gram added sugar Shakeology or the Life Shake if you want to try something different through Shaklee, which again is scientifically proven, clinically tested. All right. The other thing that she talks about with Belle Vitale is not only nutrition, where we use the containers, and I'll share my screen here in a minute, and the fitness. The only bad thing about the fitness is it's long. So you do have to be prepared for like 45 minutes to an hour. They are long, totally worth it, really fun, but these new workouts are going to be shorter. So that's good. I covered the deals, I covered the supplements and the alternative supplements through Shaklee. But she also talks about decreasing your toxic load, and that's in the guidebook. If you got it back in the winter, you have the physical guidebook, and when you open it up, she talks about decreasing your toxic load. And if you purchase the program, you will get the guidebook just in digital form, and I'll show that to you in a second. And she talks about the importance of decreasing your toxic load. This was kind of new to me when she started talking about it. Well, probably more when I started hitting perimenopause and started working with a functional doctor and a naturopath. They started talking about the importance of skincare and cleaning supplies, and everything that you put on or around your skin is absorbed into your skin. And our skin is our largest organ. And so it's really important what we put on it. And I thought I was using safe and clean products because they looked like they were, but I didn't know that they weren't the best ones. And so now you probably have heard of things like the Yucca app and EWG, Environmental Working Group. And both of those apps, you can scan what you're using and it will tell you if they're clean and healthy or not and why they're not. So I'd encourage you to go and do that. Now, I remember feeling like when she came out with the liver detox, we paid like $20 or $25 for it, and it was just a PDF. And a lot of us thought, what is this? Like, what a waste of money. You're just getting a piece of paper. But I know as a faith-based person that God was preparing us for this change. Because unbeknownst to me, I wanted to follow her guidelines, but I'm like, well, I don't even know where to go to get cleaning supplies, non-toxic cleaning supplies, and clean and non-toxic skincare. And I started looking at Nordstrom and asking, and it was so expensive. Unbeknownst to me, everything was going to change, and I was going to be introduced to Shaklee. And even though they've been around forever, I didn't really know about them. And Shaklee has all of the non-toxic skincare and all of the non-toxic home cleaning supplies. So everything that Autumn said we needed through the liver detox, I have found. And so I'm excited to be able to help you with decreasing your toxic load. And so I just want you to know I'm here to help you, whether you want to stick with Body or you want to move over to Shaklee or you just want to talk. I'm here to help you. I'm still very much a coach. Like I said, I work at a functional doctor's office 2 days a week, and I still work with Shaklee. I do one-on-one nutrition coaching and mindset coaching. So I'm also available for those options as well. Okay, so those are the announcements I wanted to make. And now I'm going to share my screen with you, and we are going to look at what the Belle Vitale program looks like when you get signed up. So basically, you're going to go to Body. I'm wondering if you can see my screen right now. I cannot see it. Let's see. All right, technology, come on. Let's all be able to see the screen. All right, for some reason, it's not wanting. I can see, it says it's sharing. Um, let's see here. Okay. Hopefully you can see it. I'm going to, okay. It's hard to know if you can see it. It says you're screen sharing, so hopefully you can see it. Basically, this is Belle Vitale, and you can see here Autumn. You can see the supplements. And I'm going to just log in here and just make sure that you can see, because if you can't see it, then that is going to be a bummer.
Recording in progress.
Oh, good. You can progress. Good. Okay. Okay, this is what you're going to see with Body. So there's a trailer. This is Autumn doing her workouts. These are the supplements. All right, and she also includes an app that helps you to de-stress. I didn't do that because I had heard that it was supposed to be free, but then they were charging you for it once you signed up, and so I didn't even want to mess with that. So there are 20 workouts. Okay, all levels. Talks about the equipment you need: a control track, resistance bands, Pilates straps, strength slides, core ball, and then those are all included. You can get those for free, or I can get them for you at a discount. And then, of course, you need dumbbells and a mat, and you're going to have to provide those. And so you can learn all about the program. So if you have Body right now, you can go to this and see all of this right now. You can learn about hormones, her own personal journey, and then there's check-ins for the first week. This is an instruction on how to set up your control track on your door. And then this is going to be the most important thing, the Belle Vitale digital guide. So this is what it looks like. And those of us who purchased it, came printed out this way. And so you are going to read just all about the program, about stress, the different things that you might experience, do your hormone journey, the fitness. This is what the supplements look like. It helps with daily metabolism, blood sugar support, and then daily hormone and stress support. And like I said, if you don't want to support Body anymore, a lot of people don't, we can get you this through Shackley, and you can get my 15% discount. And then also there's a 0 gram added sugar Shakeology. And that's good because we're really going to be counting our sugar grams. Or again, you can try Life Shake, which is Shackley's. It's less expensive and also brand new 0 gram added sugar. Okay. So that's what that's about. And then basically there's 3 phases that you're going to go through. So the first phase is where we're going to take out and then cut back. We're going to cut back and add in. We're going to have our eating window and then the calculations, just like we have done with Portion Fix before. So she's talking about highly processed oils, sugars, flours, all the things that we need to cut out. And then we're going to cut back on red meat, caffeine. And so if you were familiar, if you did the 4-week gut protocol, it's quite similar. Okay, it's kind of a mesh of the 4-week gut protocol and 80-day obsession. All right. And then she talks about coffee, and then what to add in, which is basically lots of good quality, organic, if possible, fruits, vegetables, lean meats. All right. She talks about the water and the supplements. And she talks about compressing your eating window to intermittent fasting. And she wants us to start with just a 12-12 or a 14-10 if you're familiar with intermittent fasting. If you're not, I can help you with that. And then she also talks about sweeteners and different ones that you can have. And then this is our phase 1 top 10 guidelines. So we're basically removing gluten, dairy, corn, highly processed soy, alcohol, soda, and artificial sweeteners. So if you've done the 4-week gut protocol, you're familiar with that because that's exactly what we did. She just added in soda. Number 2 is to keep red meat consumption to no more than 3 times a week. Again, similar to the 4-week gut protocol. Add in good quality food, supplements, and plenty of water. Overnight fast of 12 hours per day. Complete all workouts. Manage stress. Reduce carbohydrate intake by following the Belle Vitale Nutrition Program, which is carb cycling, and again, something that you have seen in 80-day obsession. 5 grams or less of added sugar. Okay. And so that part is why you need to have the 0 gram added Shakeology or Life Shake. And then cut back on caffeine and 30 different plants per week, which again, you are familiar with if you did the 4-week gut protocol. All right. And honestly, working at a functional doctor's office, I have to tell you that much of what we do there is so similar to this. And that's why I still stand behind Body, because I have seen it and people pay thousands of dollars to get coached in helping this. And if you are a little bit able to be a self starter, this is going to be really helpful and is a great savings. And I'm here to help you as your coach as well. Okay. And these are the calculations, whether you want to lose weight or maintain weight. Again, if you've done portion fix before, you're familiar with that. You are familiar with the colors of the portion control containers. Okay. And then these are the charts. And so it's going to change every phase, all three phases. Okay. But it gets a little complicated at the beginning. This is what you're going to eat in days 1 through 7. And she figures out your macro balance. If you're familiar with macros, it's a 40-30-30 split, 40 fat, 30 protein, and 30 carbohydrates. So you're not counting macros because the containers do it for you, but you are balancing your macros. So if you've done portion fix before, you understand it's nice. You don't have to count calories. You just fill up the containers and put them on your plate. But you can see here on weeks 2 and 3, you are carb cycling. So days 8 through 21, the schedule changes. So days 8 and 9, you eat this way, and then 10, you eat this way, and then 11, 12 this way, and day 13 this way. It doesn't keep doing this past day 21. Okay, and it feels a little daunting, but it really isn't. It's basically going from carb deplete to low carb deplete to low carb. But what's really interesting is carb deplete, you're still getting carbs. So that's in the green right here, okay, versus the tan. So for example, if you're in plan A, the carb deplete days, you still get a yellow, right? So you get a yellow whether it's carb deplete or low carb. What's the difference is the carb deplete days, you don't get fruit. Okay, so that's kind of an example of why that's different. And then days 22 and 23 are a split. And then actually, I have to go back. I said it doesn't change past day 21, but I meant day 28. Days 24 through 28, she has a different split. All right. And then she has her success tips for phase 1 and all the food lists. Again, you're familiar with this if you've done portion fix or if you have done the gut protocol. So these won't be the thing that it makes it easier than the 4-week gut protocol. She doesn't have the A's and the B's. Okay, so if you're familiar with that, you know what I'm talking about. If you're vegan, she has a container chart for vegans. Okay, so that's good to know, and food lists for vegans. So you can do this if you're vegan. And then once you complete phase 1, you get to move on to phase 2. And now you get a little bit more sugar. So 10 grams or less versus the 5 grams. Still cutting back caffeine, completing your workouts, managing your stress, adding in good quality foods, red meat to 3 times a week, keeping out all of the inflammatory foods you took out, keeping your carbohydrate intake balanced. But you're going to see you're going to get to have a little bit more. Okay. And now our intermittent fasting is going to move from a 12-12 to 13. You're going to be fasting for 13 hours a day. So just one more hour a day. So she does it kind of slow and steady, which is good. Then she's got gives us some tips for success as we get to have a little bit more fruit and starchy carbohydrates in phase 2. All right. And so now we're not switching off all those different days. That was called carb cycling. Now you can see in phase 2, weeks 1 through 4 are exactly the same. And that's when you kind of take a nice deep breath and you just chill eating the same way every day for 4 weeks. But I will say that in phase 1 is where you'll see the weight loss. Okay. And that's because you're doing this carb cycling business. And the second phase, she warns you that you probably won't lose weight because you're just stabilizing, but you're still obviously doing really good things for your body by removing the anti-inflammatory foods and continue to do your workouts. Okay. And again, if you're vegan, you've got information there. And then phase 3 is the final one. And basically, she still wants you to focus on getting 30 plants a week, decreasing caffeine, doing your workouts, managing your stress, keeping your carbs at a reasonable level, your meat and everything is basically kind of the same. She talks about things like we want to continue having 10 grams or less of sugar. You can start using some of her dessert recipes. And then we're going to move our intermittent fasting up from 12 hours of fasting. And then the last phase, it was 13. And then in this last phase, it's going to be 14 hours per day. Okay. And if you haven't done it before, I know that might sound scary, but you still get 10 hours a day to eat. And that 14 hours of fasting includes when you're sleeping. Okay, so I've been intermittent fasting since the COVID years, so I have a lot of experience and I can definitely help you with that. So she talks about paying attention to cravings, using your containers, and limiting your desserts. And here we see our macronutrients again are the same for the next 4 weeks. They don't change. So that's really good. Okay. Then she says, congratulations. She wants to encourage you to have a plan for continuing your healthy lifestyle. And that's where having a coach helps. Taking a few days to reflect on your journey, so celebrate all your wins. So very typical to body lifestyle. And then there's the maintenance. So she's going to talk about your macros, desserts, added sugar, and alcohol, and how to add foods back in and do the food testing, which if you did the 4-week gut protocol, you're familiar with that. Then she talks about these additional resources, and this is where she talks about the toxic load that I told you about, that we learned about. If you purchased the liver detox, you were familiar with this, okay? So basically she just talks about how chemicals hide in the most unlikely of places. It's hard to avoid them. Most personal care products are safe, but it's remember that safe doesn't equal non-toxic. The skin is the largest organ, I mentioned that earlier, and absorbs products quickly. In some cases, it can be worse to put harmful chemicals on the skin than it is to eat them. So where are these chemicals and toxins? All right. And then she talks about the 10 most harmful to our health. And you can read all about it here. It's very helpful and interesting to learn about them. And then she talks about they can hide in drinking water, food, feminine products, personal care products, and cleaning products. And this is where I would love to help you with the personal care products and the cleaning products through Shaklee. So she talks about some things that you can do with drinking water, feminine products, and food. And then the household cleaners she talks about here, but I can help you with that and get your 15% off. She talks about brands that she loves, of course, and but I would love to help you as well. I really have made a change to all of my skincare and all of my cleaning supplies, and I am so happy. Here she talks about stress management, which is important as well. And like I said, you can get the app, but there's lots of different apps that you can do. So that is the end, and I just wanted to make sure I showed you that. So I wanted to keep this really short and sweet. I hope it was really helpful. We reviewed the nutrition, the fitness, the supplements, the deals. We talked about Shaklee's hormone helpers, Shaklee's skin care and home care to help decrease your toxic load. And I also shared that I am available for one-on-one nutrition coaching if you don't want to do Belle Vitale, but you really need help doing something. All right. So again, I'm Amethyst. If we haven't met, it's nice to meet you. Feel free to share this recording with friends. And all I need you to do is just reach out to me and we can set up a free 15-minute consultation. And I would love to help you in any way. And if you're interested in shopping through Body and getting 15% off, just let me know and I'll send you my link. Please don't shop just on your own because no one will get, even if you had a coach before, she won't get credit for your orders. So you do need to shop through a brand new link that they just gave us like a month ago in order for anybody to get any credit. Okay, so reach out to your coach or reach out to me and use mine. And I'm happy to give you a 15% off discount for free through Body or preferably through Shaklee. And so I can give you a free membership, 15% off everything, and also help you get free shipping and also provide coaching and a VIP chat group that I am going to actually be creating soon. So I would love to help you. Thank you so much for listening and we'll talk soon.